Hi, my name is Shirley, and I'm one of those people that has mental illness. I was diagnosed about 5 years ago with having bipolar 1. I thought that wasn't as bad. I thought bipolar 2 was. Bipolar 1, me. Along with ADHD and anxiety disorder. And what did that mean? It meant that when I had a manic episode, I went from West Point Grey to downtown East Side within the space of a year. And when a doctor, I was able to find a doctor, the doctor told me a year later that when she saw me, she wasn't sure I was going to actually physically live. And I had lost something like between 50 and 60 pounds in less than 6 months. So what that basically says is it doesn't matter where you come from, there is always the possibility and probability that somebody at some point in their lives will end up homeless. That's what makes us the 99%. And like all of you, everybody that's here, I'm fed up and I'm not going to idle no more. What I wanted to say is that it's amazing the kind of power that each one of us has in our hands. The power of women, there was 10 of us. We went over to Christy Clark's campaign office and demanded that we wanted to talk to her or Rich Coleman, who still, I believe, is the Minister of Housing, unless he's moved around again. But it was amazing. It was election time, just as it is now, and we demanded. And we said we wanted to talk to them. They said, no, this is the campaign office. You cannot do this. There's a whole bank of phones and people answering them. So our facilitator, Harsha, made a phone call, and all of a sudden on Twitter, she tweeted out or something. All of a sudden, tweeted out the phone number, and they got slammed with all of the phone numbers. And believe it or not, within the space of 1 hour, we got a meeting with Rich Coleman, the Minister of Housing. And we had a meeting with him, and he said to us that we would indeed have a women's shelter, which is temporary and is being held at Life Skills, which is right across from Oppenheimer Park. But they are looking for a facility. Not that we wanted a shelter for women, but we needed something that would handle the emergencies that were going on at that particular time, and still do. What we want is social housing for everyone. And I mean social housing nationally, right across the country, from Newfoundland to BC. Allowing me to speak. But what I wanted to say more than anything else is every single one of us here has a voice, and it means so much to be able to stand together, and we can dictate. And when I use the word dictate, I mean that. Dictate to the government or whoever is the politicians, and it doesn't matter what stripe they are. We, the people, will decide what is important. And the basic needs of every human being, or everything living, is shelter, which is housing, food, and clothing. That's all that any of us want. And the most important way of ensuring that, of mental stability, is to have social housing. So because when you have stability, then your mind works. When you do not have stability, it doesn't matter how stable you were, you're not stable anymore. And I can speak from that because I'm mentally ill.